All right, hey everybody. I'm Mo. I'm a product manager at this a small green tech startup based in Toronto, and I'm currently VP of Student Experience. And in a nutshell, what I do is I bring people together, right, offline or online. So I'm mostly about organizing activities for the cohort and pointing out educational opportunities where the cohort can benefit from. And that's basically my role as VP of Student Experience in a nutshell. And I'll pass it over to you, Bonnie. Wrap us
Thanks,
up.
Mo. Okay, I'm Bonnie Tupin, and I am a product owner at Elentra, which is an education technology company, and we focus in medical education and health sciences. I am the VP of Marketing for the 2024 Mdpm Student Executive, and this role is primarily focusing on marketing trends and also any marketing externally or internally for events that we may have for our cohort and our program. What I have been focusing on, primarily in my role, is actually creating a foundation for our student executive, and that's creating our SharePoint site, which is an extension of the virtual learning platform, which class of 2025, I understand that you will be introduced to that at some point soon. But Connor, if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen and just share a little bit of what I've been working on, and then also uh, the VP of People and Culture and VP of Student Experience will be able to also share what they've been working on too. So just a moment here. Class of 2024. You haven't seen this yet because we just updated this over the weekend. So here is our Student Executive Hub. This will be a place where the student executive will be updating information about people and culture. So we've got a people and culture page. We have a calendar where Mo mentioned for student experience, and he'll be able to talk a little bit more about this, about events, and then also having like product certification. So from my position as VP marketing, I've added some links to different product certifications and courses and career coaching resources that you can check out. You also have the ability to submit an idea to your student executive to be able to provide feedback or an idea that you think that the student executive should be looking into. And then you also have access to our files where we have all of our documents from our meetings, our meeting agendas, and our notes. And then also we have our planning documents too. So one of the things that I'm going to show you here that we've put together as the student executive is the terms of reference. And so this is something that we see as being important for the new cohort to take on. The class of 2025 can be looking at this terms of reference when they begin, and they can look at, how do we want to lead ourselves? How do we want to conduct ourselves as a student body, as a cohort, and as an executive? And what can we leave as our legacy, and how can we conduct ourselves? And so one of the initiatives for the student executive was to be transparent in everything that we're doing and sharing this information. And so that's why we have our student executive hub. Why don't I bring it over to you, Alex? I'll pull up the people and culture page, and if you want to talk about people and culture.
Yeah, so really, as Bonnie was sharing, as far as leaving our legacy for the next cohort or class of 2025 students that are joining us here, really we want to carry over supportive resources from a people and culture lens, um, and and what better way to do that than including it in our VLP, which you'll soon have access to. So Bonnie, if you just scroll down below, we have a list of the Queen Student Wellness Services, my most recent update in regards to managing stress and anxiety. And we're continuing to make this an iterative process and build it out here in the near future. So for the class of 2024 and even the class of 2025. Any and all feedback is greatly appreciated. And yeah, we're really excited to leave our legacy for the next class coming in. And then I'll kick the next part off to Mo to touch base on the calendar.
Perfect. Thanks, Alex. All right. So for our calendars, we're slowly building this out with activities as soon as we have them finalized. And for our next activity, we have our next virtual game night. Well, the first one wasn't really successful because people were busy, but it's like I'll probably keep on doing that every Monday until everyone shows up eventually. So our next game night will be actually this Monday from 8 to 10. We're bringing Jackbox back again, but this time virtually, right? And we have our improv workshop happening on the 13th from 2 to 5 p.m. So hopefully I would love for our 2024 to get together, do the lecture together, and then we can do the improv workshop afterwards. And it will be in classroom 149. I'll update you with the details later on Slack with everything that you need to know. And that's for April. In May, another reminder of our run. We have our Sporting Life run happening on Mother's Day, coincidentally. And we're running for a good cause. We're running for cancer, and just reminding you that you need to, for those of you who signed up, they announced that you're going to be picking up your t-shirts and bibs from the 7th to the 11th, right? So actually from the 7th to the 10th, from 10 a.m. To 8 p.m. and on the 11th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And both will be at Sporting Life, like the store on Young Street. Again, I'll fill you in on the details on Slack. And that's basically all the activities we have lined up for April and May so far. One additional thing is I went to this spa called Othership. I committed to you guys like in the beginning that we wanted to do like a wellness package or something. And I went to the spa and it was such an amazing experience, to be honest. And I got everyone like a free session to try out. So I'll be sharing that as well with everyone who is in Toronto. And I'm trying to look for similar things across the other provinces. But for now, I have a free session for those of you who want to try out like a thermal cycle, like doing a sauna, then a cold plunge. It's very relaxing, very soothing. And I'll be posting that as well soon on Slack. Yeah, and that's basically everything that we have so far on our calendar.
Thanks, Mo. I appreciate that. I'm going to bring it back over to Alex. Alex, you wanted to share about an event coming up in April.
Yeah, I would love to. So, yeah, so one of the PNC activities that we have planned here going into April, potentially early May, depending on student engagement, is I'll wait for this to populate here real quick. Is our April showers bring May Mdpm flashback faces activity. So launching this week exclusively on the VLP, we want really to drive engagement on this platform. We're going to have a short Microsoft form where you can submit some of your favorite childhood photos along with some answers to a few short questions. And then we're going to be launching a fun quiz to follow in some of our upcoming hangouts. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, have some very funny, guess the exact pictures here. Brownie points for anyone that can guess them right. So Mo, I just have to say I love the Porsche.
Oh, you already gave me away, so
I was going to say, Alex.
I have no poker face.
Yeah. Back over to you, Connor.
Thanks, student executive. So at this point, we're going to transition and focus more on the class of 2025 and kind of some onboarding administrative items for them. But I did want to hit pause at this point. I wasn't sure if anyone from either class, the 2024s or the 2025s, had any questions for the student executive about, I mean, from a 2025 perspective, what the roles are, comprised of, if you might be interested in learning more about any of the individual roles, or maybe a little bit more tactical subset of questions for the 2024s. So any class or any questions at all from either class for a student executive before we move on? Looks like we're good on that front. And of course, everyone can always just follow up directly over email. The class of 2025, if you have any questions for the executive, I can mediate those. So you can just reach out to me directly. And the 2024s already know how to get a hold of their student executive. They've been doing it consistently for a few months now. So at this point, if the class of 2024 wants to stick around for the rest of the presentation, you're more than welcome to. But we are going to kind of switch focus now to the class of 2025. So if the 2024s are leaving, thank you so much for hopping on. But again, open invite to stick around if you'd like. So I'm going to pull the deck up again here. I believe, Val, we're passing it over to you.
Yes, we are.
Just give me one moment here.
It's great to see so many people and having the two classes come together. It's really great. This is the first year we've done this, and I think it's going to be really popular going forward to have. And it's a good opportunity for everybody to kind of meet the current class, the outgoing class, and there may be an opportunity where we actually bring in some of the alumni at some point in time during one of the town halls as well. So that will be an added bonus to have some people from the current cohort or the initial cohort join us as well. So thanks to everybody who has joined us. A lot of my information I'm going to be sharing is really kind of next steps, what you need to sort of watch for, what's going to be happening. One of the key things that needs to happen immediately following this, once you hear from me actually after this town hall, is to activate your QueensNet ID. Your QueensNet ID is your what's the best word to say it? It's what you need to get into everything at Queens. You need to get into your student account, the VLP, all the access to everything that you need to be successful in this program starts with your Net ID. So I will be sending direction. I will be sending information to your email. I actually have your @queensu email address, but I will be sending it to your personal email because you won't be able to access your @queensu email until you've activated your Net ID. So that is an oversight on my part. I apologize. So you will be receiving an email from me with full instructions on how to activate your Net ID and then how to use your Net ID to get into your student account. And right now, that will be the only thing you will have access to. So you'll be able to, see your deposit payment in there. And then once you're enrolled in courses, your fees will hit and you'll be able to see your fees. But for now, the only thing you will see in your student account in the financial side is your deposit that you've put in. So watch for that email to come out in the next day or two, and then you can get working on activating your Net ID. When you do activate your Net ID, you will need to have your student number handy, and you will also need to, you'll have your date of birth that you'll need to enter at the same time as well. So, but that will all be in the instructions that you get from me. All right, so moving on to the virtual program launch. So I just wanted to confirm these dates with you. So we're, between now and our virtual launch, which is on September 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m., we will have these monthly town halls Wednesdays. They will move to 2 weeks. They will happen during the noon hour. We may jump into, there is a point where we will jump into evening sessions to sort of get you into the cadence of being in class in the evenings, because classes will run from 6 until 9:30. So eventually we will switch over, but you will see that I will give you plenty of time to know when that time will kind of switch over. But for now, it'll be at 12 o'clock. But our virtual program launch on the September 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. Attendance is mandatory. We're going to kind of launch the program, give you information that you need to get started on preparing for the program official launch when you come to Kingston all together for the on-site session at the end of September. So make sure you mark that in your calendars from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, September 3rd. Our on-site session dates. I wanted to give everybody a kind of a high level of what when dates are, arrival, departure information, so that you can start planning your you're getting here, getting home, and if you have to take time off, these dates, so that you can start doing that, start talking with your family, start talking with your employer. So as mentioned, these are mandatory on-site sessions, so everybody needs to be in person in attendance. So the on-site, the first one is in Kingston in September. Arrivals are Friday, September 21st. We ask that you arrive by 7. Check-in is at 3, but we will ask you to be in Kingston by 7, as there we will have a mandatory program welcome at the Donald Gordon Conference Center. Departures will occur on Saturday, September 28th after class. That's a full week of intense team building, academics, social activities, days. There'll be maybe evening sessions. There's no stopping in between. It's a full intense week, so be prepared to disconnect from work. There's no family that is permitted to come during this week either. The expectation is that you're fully engaged in the program. So you will be busy right from the time you get here until the time you leave. The Toronto session is the fall in 2025 in March. Arrival is March 19th. We won't have any formal programming that evening. So just arrive at the hotel, and then departure, and then we'll be having class at our Toronto facility on Front Street. And then departures are on that Sunday at 1 p.m. after class. We'll have a box lunch and send everybody on their way. So it's a little bit shorter. Again, mandatory attendance. It is strictly for the students, no family. And again, another opportunity to, that second opportunity to network in person with the cohort. This is something that we've just added this year. Unfortunately, the current class we didn't have this in place with the current class, but I think it's a really great value add to our next class coming in and the classes to follow. So more details will follow on this, where the hotels will be. All of that, a schedule will come out closer to the start of the program, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody had these dates, placeholders in their calendars, so you can start working on your travel plans and getting time off from work and talking to your families and talking to your employer. So if you have any questions about these dates, don't hesitate to reach out to me.
We like to play a game in these town hall sessions where we purposely put typos on our slide deck, and we can see if everyone's paying attention. So the first winner for the class of 2025 is Ruda, who pointed out that the arrival date is actually the 20th instead of the 21st. So thanks for that, Ruda. You're the first winner of that fun trivia game that we play on purpose from the leadership team's perspective. I'm just going to correct that on the deck, Val, because we're going to share the deck afterwards. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all aligned there. So thank you, Ruda.
So much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right, so as mentioned, the student exec showed their page on the VLP. The VLP is planned to launch after the next town hall. So we'll have our resident VLP expert in the house for May 1st, Doug, who works with the school at the School of Computing. So he is our amazing VLP guru.